Hey guys, how are ya? Cheers. Unfortunately, it's just water today. I forgot to get my grape juice. I hope everybody is well. So I got this question put to me by somebody in the, my apologies, hold on, from my Discord group. If you see underneath this video, if you're watching, there is a link. You can join the Discord. We see it's only about, I guess about 6-7 days old now. We got nearly 800 people in that community, so that's pretty cool. So I'll just jump into it, and then I'll get to your questions right after. So let me just load this up. Is it on here? No, is it not here? It's not here. No. Give me a second. Where did I put that stuff? I have it somewhere. Here we go. Give me a second. And combine those two. All right. I just got to move it over. Give me a second. All right. Good. We'll be going. Just want to get this over here. All right. Bing. Okay. So, all right. So, somebody asked me on the Discord about Webflow versus WordPress. So we're going to look at these two platforms from the point of view of developers. So I did an ad for Webflow a little while ago, but this is an ad-free examination. So they keep on building up Webflow quite a bit. And you also have WordPress, of course. Now, WordPress has the WordPress.com, which is the hosted platform, or you could just download WordPress itself from WordPress.org. These are both viable tools for professional web developers and designers, depending on the type of job that you want to do. So if you're not familiar, Webflow is more of a builder. So you got a bunch of drag and drop capabilities to create some pretty modern designs. So that's one area where it is different from WordPress, where you got the builder tools. Let's see if we can find any information. Products. So we got the designer tool, for example. So it allows you to create some fairly sophisticated layouts via drag and drop, and it creates code for you. So that's one thing that you don't see out of the box really with WordPress. On the flip side, WordPress has a theme-based system, but it's not really drag and drop, although some customized themes will give you that capability. I think Webflow is a bit more open-ended in terms of the design power that you have here. They both, Webflow and WordPress, have hosted and non-hosted solutions. Now, Webflow has a CMS, a content management system as well, that combines with their designer product. It's kind of interesting. You upload your data via Google Sheets. I haven't used this aspect of the tool, but it's definitely comprehensive. The burning question I'm sure a lot of you probably have is this going to affect or kill web design development? Let me tell you, this is a non-trivial product, Webflow, in the sense that, to give you an idea, they even have a JSON layer that you can get into. I don't see business owners learning JSON, right? So, yeah, if you want to really get fully integrated with the Webflow platform, you got to have some coding ability as well. But I guess on a high level, but even the designer, it's a bit more of a sophisticated platform in that regard. I would say that the barrier to entry with Webflow is higher, meaning you have to have some skill or some more skill with Webflow, generally speaking, versus WordPress. WordPress has the option, though, where you can just load up WordPress, and then load up a template, make some modifications to the template in WordPress. They call these themes, add in e-commerce capability with the plugins, etc. So there's overlap for sure, and each of the platforms has major players like WordPress. You see, you got Disney and TED and NBC uses it, and so on. So it's a very powerful platform. So yeah, hold on. I think I have a sneeze coming. Whoa, my apologies. COVID sneeze. All right, now one other thing I wanted to show you guys is the plans and pricing. Now, I can't see here. Now the plans start off pretty. This is for the non-free version. With WordPress, you have an option to install it on your own server. Again, it takes a little bit more skill. A lot of hosting providers will have one-click WordPress install, but you won't have the full suite of tools that you have here. Very powerful. Now, if you look at, like, say, the premium, best for freelancers, hosting is included, no WordPress ads, you can collect payment, you got live chat support, ad revenue, premium themes, upload videos, Google Analytics. So pretty good for $10. So $33 a month. That's if you got to pay. You got to pay in one shot. So you're looking at $400 approximately. You get all that, plus you can install and extend functionality to your site with access to more than 50,000 WordPress plugins, advanced SEO, automated site backups, and one-click restore. This is cool. That's very cool. Okay, so SSH upload. Okay, so and if you want to go for the pro version for $60, you got all that. But you also have payment processing built in, integration with top shipping carriers. Wow, premium design options, online store. So that's pretty cool. That's a pretty powerful set of tools that you have here. For, it's not cheap, $700 a month, but it's not out of the question. You can also pay monthly, or $77 a month. It's not cheap, but it isn't outrageous. This is kind of more of a turnkey situation, whereas Webflow. Now, here's something. I was looking at the pricing, and something disturbed me about that. Now, here's the pricing here. What you're going to find is with Webflow, you have monthly visit limits, which is kind of disturbing here. 100,000 for the $16 a month is not a lot of visits. It's decent amount. It's not huge. So you got to keep that in mind. But again, the prices are not outrageous. They're not outrageous. A form submission. Oh, you even got paid. See, so they get you on little fine-grained activities on your site with Webflow. I didn't see that on WordPress. So if you got people submitting forms, 1,000 form submission, not good. Collect form submission, customize notifications, emails, download submission. Okay, so yeah, so you got to pay for that up to 1,000 submissions per month. 2,000. So, you're going to have to analyze both platforms and to decide, look at that getting bandwidth here. You have to decide which one is best suited for the site at hand. Webflow gives you more flexibility in terms of the tool sets, the CMS, the designer, the builder. But I don't think, I know for sure that the Webflow's ecosystem is not nearly as vast as WordPress. And that is not like a criticism of WordPress, of Webflow. WordPress is huge. In both cases, though, I can see professional implementers, if you will, being very lucrative jobs for freelancers. Think of all the small businesses. They'll either a lot of them will use Webflow or WordPress or Wix as another option. And a lot of these tools are not so easy. Like you're going to have to get your way around these platforms and understanding the basics of the web, understanding SEO, understanding web marketing options, understanding the different tool sets within the platforms. It's pretty comprehensive. So yeah, they're not competition for web designers and developers. In fact, they are good tools for web designers and developers, and they can fit a certain type of job. Yeah, so that's my basic run through of these two platforms. I think they're both interesting. I call them need to nerd technologies, in that you shouldn't drop everything and go learn Webflow or go learn WordPress. But what I would do is I would learn the fundamentals of software development, of coding, web stack, of course, in this case. And then if you want to do freelance, then I would do a little bit of an exploration of both to see which one, to understand them a little bit. You know, build a basic, do a free thing on Webflow, free site, get a feel for it, what its limitations are. Do a free one on WordPress, see what it does, see what the limitations are. You know, maybe spend 3-4 days on each, and then so you know this is if you want to be a freelancer. Or maybe you want to set up a site for your own business. Again, do a few days of each, and then you have that knowledge. And then if, for example, you're freelancing, you'll know, or you have a much better idea of which platform will best suit that particular job at hand. So they're both pretty cool platforms, but I see Webflow, and with Wix as well, they have an API layer as well via JavaScript. It doesn't threaten web designer jobs. It's just another tool set. And the fact that they're so complex now and big, it's great. So I think that's cool. So if you don't mind, guys, give me a thumbs up if you like this type of content. It's good for the Google algorithms. I'm going to get to the questions in a couple of seconds here. Let me do my bookkeeping, literally. So if you're a total beginner to coding, you want to get into WordPress and Webflow, and you like to read, you can check out my book, Web Design Start Here. This is HTML5, CSS3, and a bunch of other stuff related to the web. This is a good book to get you up and running quickly, understanding all the technologies that are behind Webflow and WordPress. So that's my book. If you are a coder and you want to up your game, before you worry about algorithms and complex data structures, this is what you got to learn. Something called refactoring. I have links below this video. So this is the Java version, there's a JavaScript version, and this will apply to any programming language. Basically, refactoring is a process of refining code bases, making them cleaner and better and less bug prone and easier to update. So it's an essential skill for any developer. So I highly recommend that if you're at that level. So if you are an experienced developer and you want to learn to take it to a much higher level in terms of product development, this might be an interesting book for you. I don't have the link. I'll put the links in. I don't have the links right now, but this might be a book that gets into the whole idea of planning out software, working with people. It's quite interesting book. So that's something for high-level guys and girls who want to get it to the whole new level. So if you're looking to start a business, maybe you have an idea for SaaS, etc., this might be a good book for you as well. So this is actually, it's an interesting book. It could be for very advanced developers and also for people who just want to jump into the whole process of creating applications that are well designed. So there you go. So how are we doing? So yeah, thanks for the thumbs up, everybody. Appreciate it. So let me, this Webflow stuff is giving me all kinds of flashing. So next thing I want to do, I want to get those. So there is right here. I check out my Discord channel. So yeah, this is just up about a week, maybe 6 days. We got nearly 800 people, so I invite you to join. Link below, and yeah, join the communities. Okay, so we have somebody already joined. So take a look, and you get announcements of my streams. I'll be putting up some custom content on here, and just get to know other developers and coders. We have sections on development talk, general discussion. Lizard Wizard's going to be in here as well. All right, and yeah, so again, links below. I invite you to join the Discord, because everybody was asking me to put up a Discord, so I did. So let me get to some of the questions now. All right, how we doing? Good for time. Good. Time flies. Almost 20 minutes, right? So if you're new to the stream, welcome. My name is Stef. I'm a 169-year-old developer. Let me know where you're from. This is the official salute. So if you are from New York, say Nick from New York, or James from Zaire, etc. I'm always curious to know where everybody is from in the world on the stream. So that'd be cool. Hey Kevin, how are you? From Lakeland, Florida. Very cool. Thanks for joining the stream. Good evening from Newark, New Jersey, San Diego. Very cool. Hey, how are you, man? Kid Pudo. Kid Pudo is he's on the Discord. Arthur Fleshman. Hey, Stefan, I'm currently using Elixir to rebuild my university grade subject selection system using Elixir. And for real, it even reconnect up fallen routines. You don't even need Docker. It's awesome. Very cool, man. Sounds good. Very cool. Hey, Satera, how are you? It's been a few days since we've seen you. Last but not least, nice to see you again, my dear dinosaur. That's it. I appreciate it. Thanks for joining the stream. Some myths. Talk about the dude that turned water to grape juice. That's it. That's when I need Jesus. Come on, man. I have just water here. Hey, Ghetto from Stockton. Very cool. Marianne M. Hey, what is the point of programming with Ethereum as opposed to other programming languages with Ethereum? Well, Ethereum is a blockchain. I'm not sure what you mean. I'm not sure what you're asking by that question. If you can expand upon that. Altash, California, another California. I bought your course a year ago, but in my latest project, I have been using Webflow, and I have to say it simplified a lot of the development process. I can certainly see this becoming more popular. Well, there you go. Again, it's a good tool. Use it. If it works. I remember I did a little deal with them. I did a little advertising for them a little while back. So when I looked at the product, it was a good product, but it seems to be continuing to evolve. Even if it's like $25-30 a month or more, trust me, if they could save you 50 hours or 100 hours of development, it's worth it, right? So it's nothing to get too excited about in terms of the pricing. Yeah, I got here in time. Yay, I got here in time. Hey, right, and yeah, I hope everything is cool. Do you mind sharing your salary progression? I never worked for anybody, so I've always had businesses. The last job I had working for somebody, I was a bouncer in a nightclub. At that time, I think I was making $10 the hour in those days. I guess it would be equivalent maybe $20 today. And that was the last time I worked for somebody. Ever since then, I've had businesses. So I can tell you from other people I know, in the first year, of course, is the least you make. But what you see as a developer, your salary progression is very, very quick within the first 3 years or so, depending on how well you work. So yeah, so the first 3 to 4 years, you see tremendous growth in your salary. So it's like boom, 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 boom. So that's why I tell people, when you get your first job, don't worry so much about the salary in the first job. The first job is just there for you to learn and gain experience. Then you're going to start seeing the salary jump very quickly. Somebody asked me today in the mentoring stream, how can she advance in her career at her new job? And the simple answer is make the people around you, make their lives easier. Make your coworkers' lives easier. Make your boss's life easier. So besides, in the case of coding and development, besides writing good code, clean code, delivering on time. So when you say you're going to have something ready by Friday, make sure you have it ready by Friday. That kind of thing, But at the end of the day, if you can make the people around you, make their lives easier, they're going to appreciate you. Your career will go skyrocket like that. That's my basic advice in terms of how to quickly advance your career in not just development, but anything really. Good morning. Hey, from Tokyo, Japan. How are you? Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, Stef, Louise. What are your opinions on learning full stack or front-end development against low-code, no-code platforms? I think if you learn full stack, you're just going to jump into a more elite level of developer, if you will. Although low-code and no-code platforms, you see jobs where they pay pretty well if you know what you're doing with those things. If I was freelancing, I would definitely learn a low-code device, like a Webflow or something, or WordPress, if I was freelancing, simply because there's a lot of productivity to be found in those platforms. So it depends on what you're doing. Their choices. Greetings from Sunrise, Florida. What do you think about WGU, Western Governors University? I don't know. I've never been, so I have no opinion. Whatever you do, don't go into student loan debt. Do not go into student loan debt if you can avoid it. Work your way through if you have to. Don't go into student loan debt. It's the most, read about student loan debt and the implications of that. It's very dangerous debt, so be careful with that. That's all I have to say. Hey, I'm trying to build my web design biz, and I want to join a mentoring group. What makes your service unique? Thanks for reading. Well, you're training under me. You're training under a 169-year-old nerd. You have full access to my full array of courses, my interactive training platform, which people really like. You get access to not only that, I have freelance training course in there, entrepreneur course in there, mind training courses. It's very comprehensive, and we have our bi-weekly Zoom meetings. The big advantage, though, is you're just training under somebody who's been in the game for a long, long time. There's a few people on here, at least one or two, who are in the mentoring group, so maybe they can comment. But yeah, give it a go. And besides that, a lot of these boot camps are taught by young nerdlings, and they're far more expensive, as far as I've seen. So best of both worlds with me. So that's a good question and a fair question, so I don't mind you asking. WordPress block editor is built-in WordPress word page builder. WordPress block editor is built-in WordPress. That's true. That's true, but I think Webflow is a bit more sophisticated from what I remember. WordPress versus Webflow is like Java versus C#. Like Java, WordPress has been in the game for a long time. Yeah, I can see that. Webflow is a bit more of a cleaner implementation, although not as comprehensive because it's new. There's a bit of legacy stuff with WordPress, but they're both good platforms, and they both have their uses, for sure. Hello from America. Hey, how are you? Yeah, with regards to my mentoring program, I think what you'll find is you're gonna feel that there's a lot of support there, and you're gonna come out confident in what you're doing. Yeah. So, and it's for life, by the way. So there's a lot of options there. It's not limited to 6 months or something. So somebody will always have your back. I love WordPress, but I hate keep paying yearly for essential plugins. I decided to focus on coding myself and chose a stack for web: Tailwind, Vue, and Django. That's good. If you want to diversify away, you could start off with WordPress, do proof of, or Webflow, do proof of concept with your site, and if everything starts to go well and you feel that it makes sense to do a custom job, you build a custom job and then you roll over, right? Not equal programming, lame. Not true. As I showed you, Bayesian, there is a layer where, for example, you can start writing JavaScript with Webflow. Wix is like that as well. And WordPress, of course, you can do software development. It's a different game. It's a different type of product. I wouldn't build a custom software from scratch with these products. Although Webflow, you might be able to build your views with their builder and then export that code. That might be useful. So it depends. There's plenty of programming in WordPress. Just depends on how you use it. Exactly. I agree 100%. Hello, Mr. Mohammed. How are you? Hey, Stefan. Is WordPress the best for fast web dev in freelancing? There's a huge... One thing about WordPress I didn't emphasize, perhaps, it's got a huge ecosystem. huge in terms of plugins and themes. So many websites run on WordPress. So there's a ton of work in terms of freelancing in that regard as well. Hello from Brazil, Stefan. I was going to ask for your opinion about local and no-code tools and their impact on the role played by developers. Now you're addressing the subject, so thank you. No worries, man. Danielle, no worries. 69 people are watching now. How many people? 102, not bad. See, here's a lesson in consistency. When I was doing my streams, 6 months, 8 months ago, very consistently at the same time, we would get 200 to 300, sometimes 300 to 400 viewers simultaneous. Now I'm down to 100 because I got distracted by other things. So consistency is king, and no matter what you do. Thanks for your recommendations. I did indeed got the design patterns and refactoring books, and they are gold. There you go. Yep. I've read literally hundreds and hundreds of nerd books. I used to spend $3,000 to $4,000 a year in 1990s money on learning coding and development and database design and all kinds of abstractions as well. It was very, very useful to me. I thought to myself, you're making 6 figures as a developer. You can spend a few grand a year on education to improve your skill set. So yeah, those are books that of all the books I've read, that's my point. Of all the books I've read, hundreds and hundreds of books, the refactoring and design patterns are super important. Ancient Baba, how are you? I am from India. Very good. Welcome. Mohammed, Algeria. Very cool. Thanks for joining. Taz from London. I am new here from Crown Heights, Brooklyn, New York. Hey, welcome to the stream. Yeah, let me do that plug again. Link below. Join the Discord. It's we just started at, what was it? I don't know, 6 days ago. And we're already got about almost 800 people joined. So we had a few people just join now. Water balloons, Hanif Masih, Mendel's photography. Yeah, so join. It's a good place to hang out and meet other developers and budding developers. And there'll be more stuff happening there as we grow that community. So thanks for joining. Pedro from Colombia. I've been in Colombia very briefly on the Rio Putumayo. Hey, Captain Nuki. Oh yeah, by the way, this is the salute. Hello, how are you? You got to be able to do this like naturally. It's got to be like walking. Boom. Double guns. There we go. So if you're wondering about the camera, people ask all the time if you're new here. So I'm using a cinema camera. That's if you're wondering about the video quality. I got the come on. It's not focusing today. Oh, there it is. There we go. I got the best bokeh game in the live streams. Look at that hand bokeh. Pretty cool, huh? Anyway, hello from Morocco, San Diego. Matt from San Diego, Vallecillos. Augusto from Salta, Argentina. Thanks for coming. Morocco, very good, Tariq. Mr. Nia from India. Fabio from Tokyo. Dimitri from Serbia. Very, very well. We are into. Also, how are you, 169-year-old dev? Well, 169 years ago, I was born. And then the world changed. What's your secret? Ritz crackers. Ritz. You got to eat Ritz on a regular basis. Hey, Stefan. Hey, Arnaud. How are you? Drinking some grape juice here in Florida. I'm jealous. I only have water today because we're in Montreal. We're deprived of living. We are locked indoors, and we have no grape juice. I didn't know stone crab was a Florida thing. I am enjoying the fresh ahi tuna myself. Very cool. Yeah, you should. The stone crab is a Florida. I really love stone crab. I think king crab is better, but you get some king crabs with a side dish of stone crab and some grape juice or IPAs. Fantastic. All right. Fabian from Santiago, Chile, currently working with Next.js, Nuts.js, TypeScript, and Cube.js. That's a lot of JS. That's pretty cool. Hey, Stefan, serious question. Do you use some type of makeup for your videos? No. This is just, come on. If I was going to use makeup, I would do something about the hair too. No, this is just how it is. It's just the camera. Hey, hologram. How are you? Cheers. Let's say, any tips on how to come back into coding after 2 weeks vacation? Can't bring myself even 20 minutes a day coding. Really? I don't know. I think maybe what you could do is you could just sort of set things up slowly. So like one day, just make sure your dev environment is up and running, and then walk away. Then the next day, make sure your basic files are open, and walk away. Then the next day, maybe open up a file. You sort of break it down to a little smaller task like that. Or maybe try 10 minutes a day. I hear you, man. Excuse me. Hey, Stef. When should I learn design patterns? Should I learn design pattern before Flutter? You start learning design patterns when you start building real applications. You may read a little bit about it on the side now, assuming you know your basics of code. But design patterns refactoring is something for people who got their basics down and they're actually starting to write some commercial code. And then you jump into those two subjects to really beef up your game. When would you need to program with a blockchain language? Is it something you cannot do with other languages? No, blockchain is a technology. You implement blockchain with languages. I would imagine C or C++. I haven't looked at them. But blockchain is just from a superficial point of view, as far as I know, it's just a database. It's a type of database. It's a distributed database. It's a very oversimplification, but so it's not a language. It's a data structure. It's a very complex data structure, or system, perhaps, if you want to call it like that. What is your opinion on bootstrapping a software web band to startup, i.e. publishing minimum viable product by yourself without any major financial costs to market quickly and see if it works? The longer you wait before you get outside financing with regards to your product, meaning you get it more and more mature, the more you're going to retain a higher level of ownership in said product. So if you can develop a basic product, your MVP, get it to market, have a handful of clients, have some momentum in that regard, then if you decide to go get investment, you're going to be able to get a lot more money for less dilution of ownership. So yeah, I would say do that if you can. Now, it depends on the business model. Some business models will demand a lot of money up front, so it really depends on that. But yeah, that's generally how I would look at it. What is your opinion on the dark blue color of a screen in websites? Is it better, for example, Discord screen, Sublime text screen? Thanks. Well, generally speaking, lighter screen backgrounds are easier on the eyes. But everybody has their own personal taste. I'm from Tunisia. I finished a bootcamp JS, but to be honest, it's no that I understand many stuff I didn't before, just because I'm doing my own project alone on my pace. But next, what to do freelance PHP? Well, Mr. Mohammed Ali, I would look at the local market and see what people are using in terms of tech stacks, and then get boned up on those things. Hello from the US of A. Hi, Jeddah from Saudi Arabia. How are you, Stefan? I hope all is good. I hope everything is good with you, Mr. Ahmad. The mentoring program has helped me find my way. I was lost in toot hell for 2 years. We have a ton of support and encouragement. I am on the verge of getting my first full stack job. Appreciate that, Matthew. Yes, Matthew is one of the mentors. Hello from, oh my God, Guadalajara, Mexico. I think I said that properly. Hello, Stefan. Greetings from Indonesia. What do you think is the best no-code tools for web development? That's a good question. In all honesty, I haven't looked at all of them, so I couldn't say which one is best. I think if you wanted to pull code out of a platform, Webflow would be a bit more flexible for you in that regard. Again, as I said earlier on in the stream, I would suggest looking at both platforms, spending a few days on each so you get a feel for what's going on there. Hello from New York. Questions. Why are job interviews so weird? For instance, a whiteboard interview with random algorithms when the real job will be different. Well, that's because of HR departments, protocols, sheepification. What do I mean by that? In industry and in communities, somebody will say, we got to do it this way. And then all of a sudden, everybody's going to say, okay, well, I guess we do it that way. And they just all do it. And you see that a lot. And it's sort of detached from reality. It's like something I remember back in the day when I was thinking of going into business administration in university. And they made everybody had to have taken Calculus 2, Cal 2. And coming from a family of business owners, I was like, what? What does calculus have anything to do with business? The answer is zero, nothing. But they all made it a requirement for some reason. A lot of it was just teachers at the universities wanted to teach Cal 2 because they've been teaching Cal 2 for 20 years, so they want to keep teaching it, even though it has nothing to do with the subject. So then what they would say at the university was, well, we're just weeding out people, which is silly too, because math and business are like, what? They have nothing to do with each other. So sometimes it's just that. It's just a question of, people following the protocol. What you will see with smaller businesses, they're more directly accountable to the reality of the business. So with smaller companies, they will be testing much more logically in their interviews. They will be testing much more logically in the sense that if they are, for example, iOS development business, or their apps are based on iOS, they will not be having you do algorithm training in a small business. They will be checking your knowledge vis-a-vis iOS, which makes more sense. So, because algorithm in real life coding is extremely rare, as you suggest, right? There will be a different way. Would you design a political candidate site from scratch to be a good project portfolio? A friend of mine saw a need and put me in touch with the candidate. It seems a little intimidating. Why not do it? Why not do it? Go for it. I say go for it. The great thing about code is that if it doesn't work, you're going to fix it. It's not like you're designing something for print and then you print off 10,000 flyers and then you realize you spelled one of the words in the flyer wrong. You just fix it. So I say go for it. Let us know how it goes. Yeah, just do it, man. You figure it out. If you have questions, join the Discord. You can ask questions and we'll help you out. Is Laravel good for freelancing in 2021? If you have to do custom projects, Laravel is really easy to get up and running in terms of a sophisticated MVC framework. So I would say yes, but I don't know if you're going to find many jobs in the freelancing world where they request Laravel specifically. But it could be a very good tool to have in your toolbox. Sometimes I feel WordPress gets more complex to handle and manage as your app grows. How do you regard that? This is also very true. The problem with any low-code and no-code applications, WordPress, Webflow, Wix, once you go outside of the boundaries of their system, the complexity can increase exponentially because by having these very high-level tools for you to put out projects, that creates, under the hood, there's a lot of complexity there. So that's actually par for the course. So yeah, you got to get used to it. Sometimes, though, you can divide your app up. So, for example, let's say you build the core of an app, a simple app, with a Wix or a Webflow or WordPress, and now you want to extend some functionality. Now, WordPress has a plugin capability, but what you could also do is just build a separate app from scratch with a proper web framework like a Laravel or Python Django, and just link to it from your Webflow system or your WordPress system, and just link to it there, and then you can share data between the two different platforms via JSON objects, for example. So that's also an option as well. I did that a few years ago with the last code base, the last Studioweb code base, Studioweb 1 through 3. It was getting so, the code base was getting so difficult to work with that we created literally a new app with another framework. And then we bypassed some of the old dirty code that had accumulated over the years via JSON objects to the new system generated for us. As far as the user was concerned, it's one system, but in fact we had two separate systems working together, communicating with each other. So I hope that helps us. Have you been to Germany? Yes, I have. A long time ago. A long time ago on business. I was in Düsseldorf. Good beer. Sometimes I feel WordPress gets more... Okay, so ever coded before blockchain? I have not. How much PHP should a person know before learning Laravel? You just got to know your basics and with some object-oriented PHP, and then you're ready to go. Stone crab and Joe's sauce is 100% Florida, 100%. That's how I discovered it. Joe Stone, many years ago. Come to South Cal, you can get a box of crabs and Cali King crabs. Yeah, that's in the plan. That's in the planning, plus IPAs. San Diego has quite of a view, I would imagine so. Stef, are you familiar with a system image, or also called a system image? I have my laptop in the box, ands. Yeah, fell asleep writing that. Yeah, of course. If I know what you mean, they're useful. What websites for beginner freelancers, web designers working in WordPress would you recommend? I don't know. I would just take a look around, try the different platforms out, do some research on Google, Freelancer, etc., Upwork, and see what they say. You know? Why does it say on your About YouTube that you started coding 1940 websites if you are 169 years old? Well, I didn't want to freak people out, so I just talked about the 1994 stuff. If I'm having understand of all form of functions in JS, should I move to other things instead of dwelling on them to understand them? You shouldn't have to understand. You should understand the basics of the language. So you understand the basic, the syntax, the basic rules, its quirks, the language quirks. Then understand the object model in JavaScript. You know, the DOM, especially the DOM, because a lot of JavaScript is just DOM scripting. And then do a few little projects, and that's it. It's not a memorization game to be a software developer. It's about a way of thinking and understanding concepts. All right. Hi, Stefan. I am stuck. I haven't started with your web course because I don't know if I'm supposed to take a snapshot of my brand new laptop system. Also, no. Oh, no, you don't have to take a snapshot. You don't. So don't worry about that. Virtualization is a very good tool when you're talking about that, but you don't need to do it to start learning how to code. There's no question. Just get into it. Just load up Studioweb, start doing the courses. Trust me, it's going to make your life easier. What do you think about Bootstrap Studio? I don't know. I haven't used it yet. So I always thought being assigned a mini project to complete was better than whiteboarding. Yeah, for sure. Although whiteboarding can weed out lesser candidates, hiring people is expensive. Yeah, 100%. All right, I'll be finishing off the stream very soon. We're almost at an hour. Hello, Steph. I want to include a CMS like WordPress to a personal project that I'm working on. The purpose of the CMS is so subscribers can customize their profiles. How would you approach this task? Customize their profiles. I would see if I could extend an existing CMS, assuming You want all the capabilities of CMS to be able to post articles and images and video and all this kind of stuff. I would maybe look at developing a plugin for that. If the core of your CMS application is basically a clone of WordPress, and that's a big if, and all you need to do is add an ability so that subscribers can customize their profiles, then I would look at extending WordPress as opposed to building everything from scratch as an option. Now, there are other CMSs out there. I know Matthew uses Wagtail, so you may want to look at other options. Are you into Ethereum? No, I'm not. I see that it's going wild, though. I love your content. Keep it up. Good. All right. What about backend language? Guess for WordPress, you should know PHP. Yes. And HTML and CSS and a touch of JavaScript. Same if you want to modify a plugin. What about Webflow? Webflow, I think, is JS based. WordPress is PHP based. Let me guess. You were in... I can't even say that word, dude. Udergie, and drank a good old Altbier, classic Düsseldorf beer. Yeah, it's been a long time, but I remember the beer was superb. Superb. It was very good. Little steak sandwiches and beer. Very good. It is necessary to know PHP to use WordPress. It is not necessary to know PHP to use WordPress, but it can help. It still dominate even the job market. It is very, very, very big. You can just go look for jobs and look at the amount of work there is for WordPress people. It's very, very big. What do you think about the 3-month probation contracts? Well, I think that makes sense because they want to make sure you are capable before they take on the responsibility of taking you on full time. How much programming knowledge do you need to know to become a QA engineer? Do you need to know as much as a developer? I don't know. I guess it depends on the particular company at hand. Hey, Stefan, what are your thoughts on Dogecoin? Well, Dogecoin is the most speculative, meaning the most erratic of the major cryptos. If I was forced to choose, I would choose Bitcoin or Ethereum over Dogecoin. But I do not have a crystal ball, and I am not making any guesses here. But I'm not telling you what to do. Very dangerous, though. Be careful. I just bought Lizard Wizard and completed it. Very good product. That's Stefan Mashik. New insights and back to coding. Thanks. Hey, I'm glad you like Lizard Wizard, SJ. Which you gave me an opportunity. I'm going to do some shameless self-promotion. So I got some good stuff here. Let's see what we got here. So I have this free thing called Lizard Wizard KOMODO here. You join up and you're going to get a training email sent to you that trains you in your brain, and both theoretically and practically. So this is free. Lizard Wizard KOMODO is free. If you want the core course, here it is, Lizard Wizard itself. You have to buy me 3 coffees. And it's a very advanced course that combines cognitive sciences, my martial arts training, meditation background, business experience. It's about 2 hours of video and audio training on how your brain actually works. It's going to help you with so many aspects of your life. Take a look at that. If you're new to software development and you're wondering about what it's like to be a C++ programmer versus a Java programmer versus a JavaScript programmer, etc., check out my Coder's Career Path webinar, free 29-minute video, and you'll have a good idea what it means to be a C++ coder, what kind of work you do, what kind of companies you likely work for. Same thing with Java, same thing with Python, etc. What else do I have here? Yeah, so you're into JavaScript. You want to get your head wrapped around the foundations of JavaScript. Check out my JavaScript Foundations course. 72 lessons, 200 code challenges is interactive training in my Studioweb platform. So I invite you to take a look. And finally, if you want the full bootcamp with Stef, my mentoring program, again, all the links are below. You can check that out. You get access to all my courses, all my video lessons. There's hundreds of video lessons and quizzing, certifications, soft skills training, resume building, etc., private Zoom meetings, etc., etc. So very cool stuff. All right, so let's get back to it. I'll answer the last few questions and I'll let you guys go. Do a 24-hour stream one day. 24 hours. I don't think that's going to happen. I use 2020 to learn at home. I learned HTML5, CSS3, Plain.js, and C# on Udemy. I built some personal projects, Windows apps, but I feel there's still more to learn to actually get a job. Try to get some free work, dude. Try to go out there and do some freebie jobs and learn that way so you can get some confidence. You don't want to get stuck in tutorial hell. Stef, what can WordPress developer make freelancing? Is it similar to other web dev? Yeah, it is. In the freelance space, there is no distinction really, for the most part, in terms of what you're getting paid in the freelance space. Is this a question of supply and demand and how well you can negotiate your time? By the way, I'm a big fan when I code and listen to your vids. Thanks for all the wisdom, man. Hey, no problem, Mohammed. Thanks for letting me know. I'm glad I could help. Can WordPress dev charge as much per hour as other types of program? Once you gain experience, yeah. It's all about how you negotiate that deal. Did you work for a FANG company? How did it go, or why not? No, I never worked for a FANG company because many of the FANGs, Amazon was a very young company when I was coding. Google, I started coding before Google. Facebook didn't exist for years before I was coding. I know I just had my own businesses, my own software businesses. So I've had students of mine go work for FANGs. Since you mentioned about coding as a thinking and not about memorization, do you cover this in your Lizard Wizard course, or what books do you recommend? Yeah, check out Lizard Wizard, man. You're going to learn a lot. People check it out. It's like 110% universal praise for Lizard Wizard. Of all the courses I produced over the years, I think it's my best one. It's instead of doing like so many books where audio books where they'll stretch it out over 7-8 hours, I compress it down to like 2 hours or so. You got a video and audio component, and it's going to open your eyes. It's going to teach you how to learn better, how to think better. It's going to help you with your anxieties. People very much love the course, as you just saw. So I recommend, you got nothing to lose with that. So go to Lizard Wizard. Where's Lizard Wizard? There it is. It's very cool. So I have dating techniques. I have what your gut feelings actually are. You know, when you get a gut feeling, what is that exactly? You're going to understand that. The basic thing you're going to learn about, if you've done any database, if you've done any programming, basically what you're going to learn is that part of your brain is basically a giant associative array. And that's how it acquires knowledge. That's how it perceives reality. And I'm going to give you the keys to that. So once you understand that, you'll be able to really unlock the power of your supercomputer. So you got to imagine, you have to imagine that you have a supercomputer here, but you have two operating systems. You got the high level operating system, and you got the lizard operating system, lizard brain. And the lizard brain controls all your emotions. Your lizard brain controls your perceptions of reality, because the lizard brain is processing all the data coming in through the 5 senses. And when you understand that operating system, it's like understanding your computer. Imagine you got the most powerful Linux system ever written, most powerful Linux laptop ever. But if you don't know the basic commands and how the operating system works, you're not going to really be able to use that computer very well. Well, that's how most people run around through life. They don't understand how their brains work. And so I recommend Lizard Wizard highly. I now tell people, if you're going to learn how to code, you should do Lizard Wizard first, because it's a 2-hour, nice, quick course, but it's going to have a lot of impact. And then once you have those Lizard Wizard skills, that will help you learn how to code, get your jobs, and manage your jobs much more effectively and quickly. As a recommendation, part of the Lizard Wizard is based on some of this stuff. This is a book I recommend. one of the most famous books ever written, very important, called The Naked Ape. So you got a couple of zoologists who said, hey, let's look at how humans interact, and we're going to use the techniques that zoologists use to study animals. It's a very fascinating book. It will open your eyes to how humans actually work. It's very cool. So this is a copy. I got this copy like 40 years ago? About 35 years ago. Of course, yeah, so this is a 1970 printing. So I bought this book ages and ages ago. It was one of the few books I've kept from that time frame. Anyway, it's not focusing. But anyway, Naked Ape, highly recommend. This is a great book if you want to really blow your mind. Lizard Wizard first, Naked Ape second. All right. What else is going on? I like Wizard and how you reference authors, the camera angles, and book suggestions. Naked Ape, thanks. I wish I had you as a prof when I was a kid. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Yes. One of the things I'm trying to do, especially with my mentoring program and what I'm doing here, I'm trying to download my decades of experience into your brains. There's so many things that I learned over the last 30 years or so, 40 years, that I wish I knew way back. And so I'm trying to download this information into your brains. I collected through hard experience from one mentor here, one mentor there, etc. And I'm trying to download all this stuff so you guys, instead of having to spend 10, 20 years, 30 years discovering this knowledge, it's there for you. And what's the advantage of this? Well, instead of getting to your goals in 10 or 20 years, you can get to your goals in a fraction of the time, right? So that's what I'm trying to do with all this stuff. That's why I talk about coding, and I talk about Lizard Wizard. I talk about freelancing and FU money, and the money course I have as well. Again, all these things that took decades to learn. It's there for you. It's there for you. You want it, you'll learn so much more quickly, and your lives will improve much more quickly. So that's why I do it. That's why I combine all these things to go. The Geek Viking. I like that. Thanks, Stefan, for that course. I bought it 2 days ago, and it is really amazing. Good. A Lizard Wizard fan. Why do I call it Lizard Wizard? I should talk about that very briefly. Why? It's a silly title, right? Lizard Wizard. What is this guy talking about? It's called Lizard Wizard because part of your brain is called the lizard brain. The lizard brain, they discovered in the sciences, the lizard brain is your dominant brain. In fact, it's kind of like it's your unconscious brain, and it controls so much about your life. Why is this frozen here? Hold on. We're having trouble. Give me a second. All right, good. Sorry, the screen was frozen. Yeah, so what they discovered in the sciences, and this guy Canon won the Nobel Prize to figure this stuff out. They discovered that the lizard brain basically controls the major decision-making part of your life. So once you understand the lizard brain and how to manipulate, how to control it, how to direct it, your life will be much better. It controls all your emotions and so forth. So it's such an important thing. That's why I included in this training. And that's why, like that guy said, it's like when people do the course, they gain so much out of it, like right away. I should talk about Lizard Wizard all the time. If you want to improve your life very quickly, check out Lizard Wizard. And I'm sure people will understand that, will confirm that. Do you think we could ever learn to upload matrix style? Well, they're working on that. I think it's possible. Can you get a remote job, web dev job at 16? Well, you don't tell them you're 16, first of all. But yeah, go check out my video on YouTube. I published it like a week ago. And it's got a big number 7 in the title. 7 steps to become a professional web developer. That will teach you the steps. But yeah, it's doable. I can't believe I was just restoring my Webflow password and this video got recommended in my timeline. Hey, German Martinez. Welcome to the stream. I don't know if you're new to the channel or not. If you aren't, my apologies. Yeah. So is Webflow the future? I believe it is for some projects or specific niches of the web. It's a competing product to WordPress and Wix. It's a good product by the looks of it. And it's something that will be around for a while, I imagine. But is it going to replace everything? No. But it's a good product. Just a question. You speak French, right? Bien sûr, je parle français. Je parle français. Je suis québécois, ça veut dire je parle français. Yes, I do speak French. I'm also in the Wizard Lizard and I've been doing the exercises. Very cool. Cool. Orge Flo. I'm going to say your name. I know how to say your name, but I can't say it now for something. It's not George. George Flores. I appreciate that. Thank you. I purchased Lizard Wizard and will be starting tomorrow. I am a future lizard. Yeah, well, that's it. That's my last point. I call it Lizard Wizard because the lizard brain, that primitive operating system in your brain, you have one brain, but the Lizard Wizard, the lizard brain, because it's so influential in your decision making in life, it controls your emotions. As you master your lizard brain, you become a wizard. A wizard meaning somebody who has control over their environment and control over themselves. I got that aspect from when I was studying Western mysticism in the past. The wizard or the magus was a master of the elements, in essence, their emotions. So you become a master of your lizard brain, you become a wizard, lizard wizard. That's the whole point of the title. What's it like having the world's best bokeh in the live stream game? Well, it hasn't helped me with my Tinder yet, but I'm trying to. I put out a picture of me like this. I was hoping that this picture would impress the ladies on Tinder, but so far not so good. But I'm pretty sure in time they'll learn to appreciate the amazing bokeh. Yeah. Elon Musk Neuralink is working on uploading knowledge. Yeah, well, he's got a long way to go, let me tell you. He's got a long way to go. C'est ta langue maternelle alors? No. It's my second language, personally. In Québec, le français, c'est la langue principale pour la plupart du monde, mais pour moi, numéro 2. I'm a minority here in English. Is it possible to develop at 16? My first job was a website maintenance at a local newspaper. Very good. I worked part-time during the school year and full-time in the summer. It is possible. There you go. Of course. There you go, man. To be 169 years old, you look amazing. Exactly. As-tu déjà enseigné informatique en français? Oh, I tried a little bit, j'ai essayé un peu, mais le problème, c'est qu'il y a beaucoup de fois que je trouve pas les mots en français pour les mots techniques, si tu connais what I'm trying to say. What do you think about Web 3.0, Stefan, Solidity, and all that? I haven't looked at that, so I can't say it. Webflow, Wakanda forever. Can WordPress do really advanced UI stuff? Well, it's not so much about WordPress. I think it's kind of more locked in. Webflow is more of a tool for building UIs, but I haven't looked at the latest builder in WordPress. So make sure the world's best bokeh is in your Tinder bio. Likes will come flooding in. I hope so. If I do the world best bokeh, and maybe if I have a dog beside me, that'd be like a double combo. I'll be like fire. I'll be on fire. I could set up like an OnlyFans, the world's best bokeh OnlyFans site. I think it could work. How login user system work? When we log into any social media, we only see data who logged in. What does this concept called? How do I search Google? I'm not sure what you're saying. See data. Okay, that's just the base. That's the basic CRUD operation. CRUD. 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 Yeah, CRUD. You take any web development framework, Django, Python Laravel, and so on and so forth. They all have these authentication layers built in, kind of very basic. And in fact, in my complete web developer course, we have a small little project course on exactly that, how to create a login system via MVC. But you got to know your basics. Senpai Stefan notices me, 24-hour stream, please, for the masses. If I did a 24-hour stream, a big part of the stream would be me doing this. Guaranteed. So, what's harder, learning a new language like French, Spanish, or coding language? Depends on how your brain is made up, man. All right. Yeah. Okay. It's over an hour. That's it for today's stream. Thanks for coming on, guys. Thanks for the thumbs up. Thanks for telling everybody about the live stream. If you know any ladies who love amazing bokeh hands, let me know. Let them know about my stream. And yeah, very blurry dog indeed. Very blurry dog. All right. We'll talk soon. Thanks for joining. I'll leave off with my main ASMR video. We got to do a plug here. Studioweb is great. Learned so much more than school already. At school, our teacher told us it was possible to create World of Warcraft on Scratch. There we go. That's funny. All right. Have a great night, everybody. Thanks for joining the stream. Appreciate it. Okay, one last question, then I'm out for Mr. Arnold. Would you advise building a simple static site with HTML and CSS if you know how to use WordPress because it might be faster? It depends on the needs of the project, Arnold. Mr. Arnold. If you need the WordPress functionality to be able to add new content on a regular basis, then you want to go through the trouble of WordPress. If it's just a 2-page site and you probably will not change it, you may add a page in 6 months, and maybe doing a simple static site would be better. I hope that helps. All right, guys, so this video you're going to see is of Maine, USA. And it's a very beautiful place to visit if you ever find yourself in USA. We'll talk soon. I should stream tomorrow. I think I will. Have a good day. Have a good night, guys.